All right, all right. Good morning, or afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. All right, so just wanted to clear up a few things. Hopefully, you guys can hear me pretty well. I've been having like audio issues for a little bit, but I want to clarify a few things about what I'm actually building. All right, so a while back, I read a study published by Harvard. It was like the longest study on happiness, like 80 years. So that was the duration of the study, and it came out with a few interesting things. And what the solve was, because they found out people were like largely unhappy, and it was only a few things why they were unhappy. And I just thought, well, this is a pretty huge problem, especially with social media and all that other good stuff. It's like that's exacerbating a problem that's been going on for 80 years. But I don't know anybody who's actively like working on it. And I was like, what would it take to solve this problem? And then I thought about it, and I was like, I could just do it. It just seemed simple enough. I could just do it. And then I was like, all right, well, how would I do it? And boom. This is how the whole thing came up with. I was like, all right, well, I'll create a brand called Build Your Wolfpack. All right, and I need product. I don't know what product I need to sell, but it needs to tie in the problem that I'm solving. And I literally I was like, all right, well, I need to sell it to people that have money, but I need it to be accessible to anyone as well. So I was like, all right, well, I could sell this to coffee shops. If I sold coffee, I could sell it to coffee shops. I could also do subscription based to coffee shops, but I could also do it to the individual person. And my brand theme would be Build Your Wolfpack, like building community. And all my marketing would be based around that. And all my efforts to build a brand would be around that singular concept. So that when people see the brand, it would be interesting enough for them to talk about. And I wanted it to be so big and so crazy, hence the wolf and why it looks all crazy, that people would talk about it. All right, so I grabbed that concept from Purple Cow, and I got a whole video dedicated on that. But basically, I wanted to make it so that people will talk about it, because apparently people are lonely and they don't know how to fix that problem. And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I could see how that could be a problem, because social media came out, I guess it got really big around like 2012, and it completely skipped me. I had like set up a page and all this other stuff, but I was working, I was already an adult, and I already had like a social circle, and I was completely busy. I thought it was like a complete waste of time, I'm not gonna lie. Then I found out, no, this is actual viable thing, and this is how people communicate and meet up with people and all this other good stuff. It is a social staple now. However, most of the things that go viral or like it's kind of pushed on the algorithm is just kind of negativity or it's just spontaneity, or it's just some crazy stuff, right? Just nothing you can build community around, right? It's just like, oh, this crazy thing happened. Did you see this crazy thing? But nothing that you would want to say, all right, well, let's continue to see these crazy things together. Not like, when I was a kid, it was like we had cable or but it would be, a movie that came out, and then you could almost guarantee that 80% of your friends would have seen it. or a TV show would come out, and you can guarantee maybe 90% of your friends seen the show, and then y'all just had things to like talk about, and then like ideas that came from whatever programming you were watching. But what goes viral now is kind of nonsense. So I was like, all right, well, how can people build around nonsense? I don't think that you can. So I was like, all right, well, that's an easy solve. All right, 9 times out of 10, the things that keep us away from connecting is one, we've got to work. We've got things to do. We have bills to pay. So I looked at it and I was like, well, what else is going really huge online right now? And I noticed it was business content. And I was like, oh, great. Well, I happen to study that stuff and I kind of enjoy the content. But it's usually just a thing that I just look at, trying to get ideas, right? So what I noticed, a lot of the business gurus, they are very like serious. You got to do this thing. This is how you do this, or whatever. And really, I just look at business or anything as kind of an experiment. And what you want to do is you want to set your experiment up properly, so that you can continue to iterate and figure out what's working, what's not working, and just continue to test different hypotheses, much like we would do in like a science class. So that's exactly what I did. I created pretty much a business lab, and then I gamified it. And I decided, like, yeah, I'll share this out, because if I can get more people to play, then it'll solve that problem on its own. Because when you're talking about building business, you're talking about creating value, which means if you're doing this with another person, you are literally talking about value, and you can build community around that. Definitely. So my goal is to build coffee shops all over the world, or supply coffee to different coffee shops all over the world, with this concept. I think it'll definitely put a dent in this problem. Not to say that everybody wants to be a business owner, should be a business owner, but I think about where at my age, where I'd go hang out, or what I would do socially, if I needed to build a community around me. And I was like, well, I don't do a whole lot of nonsense. I can go to a bar, a club, or what have you, but that's just to just kind of just chill, relax, people watch, and go about my business. But if I met someone and I was like, hey, well, you've got an idea, let's link up, prepare, and we'll have a conversation. I would probably tell them to meet me at a coffee shop. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I also look back at my time being, a network engineer. That's part of my background. Been in IT for over 20 years, traveling, delivering solutions, developing solutions, all the other good stuff. And a lot of times, while we're on the road, the first thing I would do, like leading my team, is we'd meet in the lobby of whatever hotel, and we'd kind of go over whatever we planned to do that day. Just kind of quick review, like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Bam, bam, bam. Just run through the game plan over coffee. Or in the evenings afterwards, we'd probably do the same thing, not over coffee, probably over a couple of drinks, and just, talk it out. And, it'd be be a pretty quick thing most times. So I thought, well, maybe people haven't had the chance to have that experience, right? Because I've done all sorts of work, and I kind of understand, like, if you're working, 12, 16 hours a day, which I've been in that predicament a lot more than I would like to. You're exhausted. You don't want to. If you're building something for yourself, and even if you're going to take the time to build something yourself, you don't want it to be super formal, because it just doesn't make sense, right? It's like, all right, well, I was on a customer site all freaking day. Now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna try and build this thing, or talk to my team, and it's got to be like super formal. That sounds horrible. That's horrible. So my key thing is that, like, to make this work, you have to do this with people you enjoy. You have to find people you enjoy, and then, like, make it fun. It can't be serious like the gurus want you. You gotta be consistent, and you've got to set up your experiments properly. So the game is literally how to do that. And one of the key things I wanted to make sure is, like, the money piece, because a lot of times, people don't have a lot of money to, like, throw at an idea or do this or whatever. So I was like, well, let's make it under $300. Not to pay me. Like, the digital version of the game is completely free. It'll be in the description. The physical version you have to pay for, because I can't. I would go broke if I tried to send it to everybody's asked for it. So anyway, so like $300. We'll cap it there, because you can literally do everything that you need to do yourself. It's just low leverage. You start thinking of money as leverage. That's just you using that $300 to kind of expedite some things in your experiment. All right. But you can completely do without it. And I wanted to make sure we put a cap on the amount of money that you throw in, especially initially, because just because you throw more money at an idea doesn't make it a better idea. You just threw a lot of money at a bad idea. But yeah. So most of the time, I believe the solution is people, not money. Hence the name, Build Your Wolfpack. So another thing that I've noticed, just socializing and traveling around the world, in Europe, coffee shop culture is already a thing. Like, people already go to coffee shops and just kind of hang out and people watch and just chill out. And it makes it so that, like, people normalize a little bit more. What I've noticed with more young people is that they don't leave the house as much. They don't socialize. Most of their interaction is online. And me trying to learn social media, I've took a deep dive, and based on a lot of stuff I've seen on social media, like, I wouldn't want to go outside without a determined destination. I wouldn't want to just want to walk around, hang out, and go see things and bar crawl, because it's just so much craziness online. And if that's your major conduit of seeing humanity, then it's just not good. So my idea is that, like, we bring in normalizing, and normal, I use normal as like a, I don't know how to say it, kind of like this is normal, that's not normal. Just like kind of a baseline of behavior. Because, I believe, and not to be a DEI guy or not to be a DEI guy or for or against, it's the best perspective is all perspective. And the only way that you get that is through communicating with people from different backgrounds, and really understanding where they're coming from. I don't really believe in a whole lot of like debate or trying to push a point or narrative or like trying to convince someone of anything, because I don't think it really makes sense. What I do try to do is try and effectively express an idea, and I think that it's kind of missing online right now. It's like you see a couple pockets of people doing that, but it's not widespread. Even center is like center left or center right, and I don't know why that is, because being a citizen of the world, traveling the world a few times, I can tell you for sure that people are more alike than different. Poor people with minimal resources act a certain way. Poor people with more resources act a certain way. People with a lot of resources act a certain way. And you can kind of just figure it out. And you can, and 9 times out of 10, if you just, let's be cool things happen. So I'm trying to bring that back. So this is the journey now. Set up a YouTube channel. It's been going on for a little bit, trying to dial in I'm new to social media, so I'm trying to dial in my content on all the social media, trying to make sure everybody gets the idea, the concept of what I'm trying to build here. Another cool thing I think, cool thing I was able to put into this was a players group chat, because it's literally a game. All right, it's real life. Like I really want people to like build businesses and create wealth and all this other good stuff, because I think it's something you can do at leisure, right? It probably won't be like $1 billion company, but I think it's possible to make a meal or two just messing around, just trying to figure it out, with very low overhead. So I'm very, very interested, especially with AI. I almost think that this game is necessary to play for all ages. So I literally made it for all ages. It's color coded. It's a game board. Like this is the cheaper version right here. It's not available because I don't really like the quality of it. I was just kind of like an MVP. I wanted to see what it will look like. But only the premium version I'll sell because I wanted to make sure that it's, oh yeah, here's the box, and the cards, right? The actual cards. So yours won't look like this unless you go to a print shop and get it printed out. But if you want to order it from me, yeah, You'll get a quality box and quality cards, quality everything, right? It's gonna look really nice. And the reason why you would want to buy the physical version is you could set it on your coffee table. Because, I literally call it a coffee table game, because to me that's what it is. And if you have family, friends, or whoever that stops by, they can see the box, and it looks crazy enough with that, they will ask about it. They will ask about it, and it starts the conversation. And I think the more people that you bring into your game, the more fun it is. I've been asked, like, is this a pyramid scheme? Or is this how do you get, I don't get paid from you playing the game. There's no point in time where I'll be like, you owe me or you pay. No. Either you buy coffee or you don't. You buy the physical copy of the game or you don't. But that's totally up to you. But yeah, I think this will help a whole lot. Tell somebody about it. Like I said, the game is going to be in the description, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys in the group chats as we start to scale this thing out. All right, thanks.